Welcome to my channel. In this video you will show global version original, brand new top best-selling smart blood centrifuge machine product on AliExpress, with discount price blood centrifuges. Are machines used to separate blood cells from plasma. In order to do this, they use centrifugal force to spin down the red blood cells at high speeds. The result is a clear plasma layer that floats above the red blood cells. There are two types of blood centrifuges: benchtop models and mobile units. Benchtop models are stationary devices that are placed on a table or countertop. Mobile units are wheeled devices that can be moved around a hospital or lab setting. A blood centrifuge is a machine used to separate blood cells, red blood cells, from plasma, the liquid portion of blood. To do this, centrifugal force is applied to the sample. Red blood cells have denser cellular structures than plasma, so they tend to stay closer to the bottom of the container. Plasma tends to float on top of the red blood cells. The basic principle behind a blood centrifuge is simple. When a sample of whole blood is spun in a centrifuge, the heavier components of the blood, red blood cells and platelets, settle toward the bottom of the tube, while the lighter fluid, plasma, rises to the top. Once the separation occurs, the technician removes the desired portions of the blood sample. There are many reasons why we need a blood centrifuge. One of the most obvious reasons is that it helps us diagnose certain conditions. If we suspect that someone has leukemia, for example, then we might want to test their blood for the presence of white blood cells. These cells would indicate the presence of leukemia. Another reason is that we may want to isolate specific parts of the blood. For instance, if we wanted to extract stem cells from bone marrow, we could use a centrifuge to separate out the stem cells from the rest of the blood. There are several different types of blood centrifugals. The first type is called a benchtop model. These are stationary devices that sit on a table or countertop. The second type is a mobile unit. These are wheeled devices that are able to move around a hospital or laboratory setting. Both types of blood centrifugal work similarly, but each has its own advantages and disadvantages. A blood centrifuge machine is a device that uses centrifugal force to separate whole blood into its constituent parts: red cells, white cells, platelets, plasma, etc. A centrifuge separates the components of blood based on their density or weight. In order to use a centrifuge effectively, you need to know how much blood you have, what type of blood you have, e.g., whole blood versus plasma, and what kind of separation you want to do: components, plasma and albumin, inside. After spinning, you remove the tube from the centrifuge and let the separated blood sit until it naturally clots. When the clotting occurs, you can safely store the blood in a refrigerator for future use. Blood centrifuge machines are commonly used to perform blood transfusions. However, they can also be used to separate blood into its various components, i.e., red cells, white cells and platelets, for research purposes. Researchers can use these machines to study the effects of drugs on blood cells. They can also be used to test for certain diseases. Disclaimer: these choices may be out of date. All of these products may not be in stores. We don't know when if this will be back in stock. You need to go to Top 5 All Best Blood Centrifuge Machiner 2023 review link to see the most recent updates to the list. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe this channel.